What's up guys, it's of Daggers and Darkness here. Now today I'm going to try and make this video as small as possible. There's three main topics, or three main points to why I've heard that gelblasters are illegal, or three or four, illegal and they are not allowed to be imported into Australia. Now I know that I've been told and found some information mainly regarding Victoria and New South Wales, basically now saying that they are illegal and you can't import them. And importation's been iffy quite often, but now they're saying they're illegal in general. So the first one is to say the projectile they fire is too similar to airsoft, being a gel ball. Now, even though the gel blasters themselves, as you can see, I've got like a couple of manual, my sniper, an MP7, and my M4, they run the same mechanics as Nerf blasters. They were saying, oh, the projectile is like a gel, is like an airsoft pellet, and it's not. It's a gel pellet. They break on impact. They're biodegradable. You know, like they're really, really not the same thing. Even though they're a sphere, they're not the same thing. So they try to say the projectile that it fires using gas and stuff like that, when it's complete horse shit. It's just basically them trying to come up with a reason why you can't have it. So then they said that it looks like a replica, which is also another issue I have, because you can buy replica cap guns, and that really annoys me when they say that. The fact it annoys me when they say that is because I'll show you right now. So this is my manual gel blaster Glock, which is Hydrodip. This is my M1 911 6mm mag-fed gel blaster, and this is a cap gun. So I'm sorry, but when they say that it looks like a replica, this looks like a pretty much perfect replica of, I believe it's a Beretta. Not 100% sure, don't quote me on that, but yeah, it looks exactly the same as a gel blaster. Just the thing is, it just doesn't fire gels. It's just a cap gun. So that whole, oh, but it looks like a real gun is bullshit too. These are all toys. They look similar to a real gun, but they do not look like a real gun. They're not made out of metal. The majority of the time, they don't actually have fully movable parts. Like, this doesn't have a magazine. My bad. This doesn't actually have a magazine. It's just a little hopper internally, you know. Like, yes, the new blasters look very similar, but they still, even at a distance, you know, I'm going to know that that's a toy and not an actual real gun. So that's kind of bullshit. So they try to say the projectiles and they try to say what it looks like. So then they said because it looks like a military weapon. Now this is another issue I like to have a little chat about. Now, when we think back to military weapons, we think, okay, my M4 right here. Military uses that, okay? Tactical teams use MP7s. They're a form of military. But when you think back to the 18th century when knights used to be the military, and they used bows and arrows. So, is every bow and arrow and every crossbow considered a military weapon? Because they were used by the military in the past. The M1 911, the Glock, they were both used by military and still are used in some militaries. So they're considered military weapons. Well, they're trying to say military weapon. They're trying to say the assault rifle, look, is a military weapon. But when you think about it, this is one of my tactical knives. Use it for hunting. It's just nice, convenient. This is a trench knife. It's similar to what would have been used in like the Second World War. You know, it's got fake knuckle bust. It's completely a training knife, so it's not sharp or anything, but this would have been a military weapon. So does this newer, more tactical, ergonomical design of a knife become a military weapon? Because they would use a knife similar to this in the military. So is now this a military weapon? Because saying it's a military weapon, nearly every weapon ever made served in the military. So you can't just say, oh, but that's an old military weapon. That's different. Same with my rifle. That looks like a hunting rifle, but they would have used rifles like that in the military, so it should be a military weapon, you know what I mean? It's just a stupid tactic they try and say. They consider airsoft anything above 250 feet per second. All gel blasters I know fire below that, so they fire below airsoft category, and that's how Nerf blasters get around it too. They fire below that FPS rating. So the whole look, they all look like toys, they're all cheap plastic, you know, it's just ridiculous. Yes, obviously, if someone did see one of these on the street, they would be confused and think it might be a real weapon. But to be honest, if you're taking this out on the street, you kind of deserve that. You know, everyone that plays with gel blasters does, well, not everyone, but the majority of the people do the responsible thing and use it at skirmishes only. So I hate that like everyone's been thrown in the same category as the people that break the rules and stuff like that. But I would honestly just like to be able to play with these at skirmishes, at paper ranges and stuff like that, in areas that aren't in public view, that aren't going to freak people out because they're just toys. So the main points I'm getting at is every point they try and raise, whether it's the projectile, because they said to us before that Nerf guns fire the suction tip darts, but now they fire the more bullet-shaped darts, and they're quite large, especially with the mega blasters they've brought out. They fire a large projectile, and that's larger than a gel blaster. So you'd be more concerned about modified Nerf blasters when people put pins or razor blades and stuff like in it, then you would be more concerned about gel blasters. It's just because they like to tie it all in and go, oh, the projectile it fires, how fast it fires, and the way it looks. Now, I'm sorry, but you could honestly go out, and like I showed you with my cap gun. This is a cap gun you can purchase at like some hunting stores, like Mitchell's sells them. And yeah, it looks like a real weapon. So what's the difference between me taking my gel blaster out and aiming at you and me taking this out? You know what I mean? You're still gonna, and like, that's just got a tiny little orange tip. Like with this, that would actually be fully like actual orange, but I've painted it. So I've hydro dipped it. But yeah, like that's actually quite ridiculous when they go, oh, you know, you gotta have orange tip. That's just the orange cap. That's not like the tip of the actual barrel. That's just it. And you can just dig that out and then bam, you know, it looks like a full gun. So the fact that they try and say it looks like a real weapon is just bogus, because there's a lot of cap guns you can buy out there that are actually metal, that look exactly like guns. So there's a lot of issues that I think are really stupid, you know, and I don't want to keep on rambling on. I just want you guys to know at the end of the video that it just really frustrates me that they try and talk about projectiles when a lot of things fire projectiles. Slingshots still aren't illegal in Australia. You just can't have a arm guard, but you can fire ball bearings. You can fire pellets for them. You can actually buy plastic pellets. And you can fire marbles. You can fire whatever you want through a slingshot, essentially. And you can get sling bows. Yeah, they try and say it looks like a gun, but I'm sorry, but there's so many fake toy guns you can get at Cheapest Chips or Big W and all that stuff like that that kids use. Saying that it looks like a real weapon is completely bogus, because there's so many kids' toys out there that look like real weapons. So, and to talk about how fast they fire, they don't fire above 250 feet per second, so it's not airsoft. I didn't want to ramble too long about this, but I just wanted to know why I think what they're trying to say to us and what I believe, you know, comes back to it. Because they're trying to say that, oh, they fire too fast, they look like military and stuff like that, when it's completely wrong. When you actually think about it with your brain, it's wrong. What they're actually trying to say is just fear tactics, basically trying to hype up that these are deadly weapons, when in fact they're toys. They called them gel splat guns or gel ball guns, when they're actually a blaster. It's not actually a gun. It doesn't use compressed air. It uses an air and a plug that pushes air. It's not compressed, it's just pushed. It's not like CO2 or anything like that. It's not an individual gas canister. So guys, comment your thoughts below. If you disagree with what I've said, you know, that's perfectly fine. If you agree with what I've said, that's perfectly fine. It's just a hot topic. It's just a bit of a debate. That's how I feel about it. Let me know in the comments what you feel about it, and I'll catch you guys next time.